In the news this week, we look at the new Prime Minister's voting record on ethical issues. The government says changing sex on passports will be as easy as changing names, and a Church of England bishop says the Bible's authority must be defended. Hello. Theresa May has become Prime Minister, but what does her voting record say about her stance on Christian issues? The MP's vote section on her website lists all MPs' voting practices on moral issues. Mrs May voted in favour of all-day Sunday shopping, against assisted suicide, and in support of same-sex marriage. She has also recently brought in a blanket ban on so-called legal highs. As Home Secretary, she has pushed ahead with plans on extremism, which have been widely criticised for threatening freedom of speech. She also reportedly sided with former Education Secretary Nicky Morgan in efforts to make sex education compulsory in primary schools. The Bible commands us to pray for all those in authority, so please join with us in praying for the new Prime Minister. Pray that she might be given wisdom as she decides on the details of the government's programme and that she would protect gospel freedom. Anyone who wants to change the sex recorded on their passport will soon be able to do so as easily as if they were changing their name, the government has announced. Currently, if someone wants to change their stated sex, they must provide a doctor's letter to prove that they are permanently living as the opposite sex. Under the new rules, they can simply fill out a form and supply the passport office with supporting documentation. The government also said it is carrying out an internal review to identify documents which make unnecessary demands for a person's sex. The news was met with concern by the Christian Institute's Simon Calvert.
Official documents have to reflect reality. The reality is that sex is based on biology. You can't have official documents based on people's subjective feelings about themselves. I don't think that most people would endorse the idea of inventing a third category for passports. People are either male or female, and to say anything else is really just playing politics. And these official documents, of course, they're crucial when it comes to matters like national security. They're not blank slates for politicians to use to score political points.
The number of people who have been issued with a gender recognition certificate since the 2004 Act is around 0.007% of the UK population. A US church group working in the UK has been compared to neo-Nazis and Islamist terrorists by a newspaper columnist. Shona Craven said the King's Project singers were a musical Trojan horse whose church ticks every box on the ugly religious fundamentalism checklist. Craven dismissed the church's pro-marriage and pro-life views as bigoted and said the group should not be made welcome. The group, which is part of Prestonwood Baptist Church, is on a tour of England and Scotland and said people had been receptive to the gospel. But Craven, writing for the Herald newspaper, said, "What message does it send when a shopping centre welcomes this kind of musical Trojan horse into a Scottish city, and where do we draw the line? A neo-Nazi puppet show at the Gyle Shopping Centre? Magic tricks by Islamic State at Buchanan Galleries?" A spokesman for Waverley Mall in Edinburgh, where the group featured, said the event was well received. And finally, the debate surrounding sexuality within the Church of England centres on the authority of the Bible, which must not be superseded. That's according to the Bishop of Blackburn, Julian Henderson, who recently outlined what he sees as the main arguments being put forward to challenge the Bible's teaching on sex and marriage. Bishop Henderson said the Bible must remain the Church's one true authority if Christians are to maintain a faithful witness. Its authority must not be superseded by pastoral, anthropological and missional arguments if we are to maintain a faithful witness to Jesus Christ and the Gospel in this generation and for those who follow. The bishop referred to the words of Jesus in Luke 26, verse 6, "Woe to you when all men speak well of you," and noted that the disciples were called to be different, stand out and be salt and light. Well, that's all for this week. For regular updates and information on all of our stories, plus much more, visit our website at christian.org.uk. Until next time, goodbye.